Hey everybody, we are now ready to use the quadratic formula to solve a quadratic equation. So the first thing I tell my students is always write the formula down on paper. So we're going to sing x equals negative b plus or minus square root b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. I'm going to give you my equation. My quadratic equation today is x squared plus 5x minus 6 equals 0. We know it's quadratic because it has an x squared. Suppose my mind is not working and I don't remember how to factor that, and I know I can't do the square root of it. I can use the quadratic formula to solve every single quadratic equation. I'm going to say that again. You can use the formula to solve all quadratic equations. The reason why we use the formula as a last resort is if you watch in a minute, it's time consuming. So here we go. Step one is you want to make sure your equation is set equal to 0 and all your terms on the left side are in the correct order. That's already done for us. Step two is I need my three numbers, a, b, and c. A is the coefficient in front of x squared. That's 1. B is the coefficient in front of x. That's 5. C is the constant. That's negative 6. So I make my students write that down. Then we'll go substitute into the formula. So we'll write x equals negative b. The first part of that numerator means to put in that spot the opposite of b. Remember, negative is the subtraction symbol, and we've talked about subtract means the opposite, to change signs. So if your b is 5, the opposite of that would go negative 5. Then you write plus or minus square root. Now it says b squared. So b is 5, so I wrote 5 squared. Minus 4 times a, which is 1, times c, which is negative 6. So if you look, my 1 and negative 6 are in parentheses to show multiplication. All over, in the denominator, that's 2a. That's 2 times a, 2 times 1. So now I just did substitution. Once I do that, it's no longer algebra, it's arithmetic. The right side is all numbers. So now I follow, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Please do what's inside the symbol. So I'm going to leave x equals. I'm going to leave the negative 5 plus or minus. I'm going to work inside my symbol. The first thing I see inside my symbol is 5 squared. Well, I know that. That's 25. The next thing I see inside my symbol are three numbers connected by multiplication. That says negative 4 times 1 times negative 6. So first of all, a negative times a negative would make a positive. 4 times 1 is 4, and 4 times 6 would be 24. So that expression, negative 4ac, all becomes positive 24. And it's still over the denominator 2 times 1. Well, I'm not done inside my grouping symbol. Now I have two numbers inside my grouping symbol. I still need to put them together. So I write x equals negative 5 plus or minus. Inside the square root, 25 plus 24 is 49. All over 2 times 1. So that was step 3. You work inside the square root and get it down to one number. Now that it's one number, you take the square root of it. And we all know 49 is a perfect square, and we all know the square root of 49 is 7. So now I rewrite my equation as x equals negative 5 plus or minus 7 over 2 times 1. Everybody's good? At this moment is when I separate and show I'm going to have two answers. Because, ladies and gentlemen, in the numerator, you can't add 7 and subtract 7 from negative 5 at the same time. So now I'm going to rewrite this as x equals negative 5 plus 7 over 2, and x equals negative 5 minus 7 over 2. That shows me that you understand the plus or minus symbol means one time I'm going to add 7 to negative 5, one time I'm going to subtract 7 from negative 5. If you look, I also multiply the denominator 2 times 1 because that's just 2. Once I have it rewritten, the equation written in its two expressions, because I know I should get two answers, now I still follow order of operations. With the fraction, you can only have one number in the numerator and one number in the denominator. So now I'm going to take my numbers in the numerator, put them together. So negative 5 plus 7 would give me 2 over 2. Negative 5 minus 7 would give me negative 12 over 2. And the last step is to actually do the division. And this is easy division. 2 divided by 2 is 1. So our first solution is x is 1. Our next solution is negative 12 divided by 2, which is negative 6. So we did get 2 answers for x, which we should. It's a quadratic equation. If you look, these 2 answers are real numbers. They're on the number line. They're also rational numbers. Why is that? What does the word rational mean? Very good. From previous modules, rational means those numbers can be written as fractions. 1 would be 1 over 1. Negative 6 would be negative 6 over 1. So when you solve a quadratic equation using the formula, you can get 2 real rational solutions as your answer. That tells me, Miss Black, that if you took the original equation, you could have factored in and got those answers a lot quicker. Let's go to the whiteboard.